Welcome, everyone, to the NoDQ.com live recap of Friday Night Smackdown for June 20th, 2025, the first day of summer. Interesting Smackdown tonight, that's for sure. Chat room, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I appreciate everybody's viewership. Let's start at the beginning as we head on the road to Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. We kicked off the show with LA Knight. LA Knight came out there and talked about how he's been going back and forth with Seth Rollins' group. He said this whole thing ends with him and Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman was quick to interrupt, and he said that LA Knight should get the hell out of Grand Rapids, or something really bad will happen to him by the end of the night. LA Knight responded by calling Paul Heyman many things, including a grifter and a scammer. He wanted to fight Paul Heyman. He was even going to give Heyman the first shot. He turned his back to Heyman, but of course, Heyman just got out of the ring. And then he brought out big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. LA Knight tried to fight, but they got the better of him. However, LA Knight managed to grab a steel chair, and he fought them off with the chair. Backstage, Braun Breaker was pissed. Heyman was trying to calm him down. Byron Saxton came over to try and interview them, and Braun was barking at Byron like he was going to bite him. And they did confirm that LA Knight would face Bronson Reed one-on-one in a match on SmackDown. I thought the opening segment was good. I liked it. As far as the match goes, my first thought when they announced it was, well, we're just going to get outside interference. More on that in a little bit. Solid opening to the show, though. We had Asuka versus Alexa Bliss in a Queen of the Ring semifinal match. I thought it was a good match, competitive between the two of them. Not a classic or anything, but I did enjoy it. There was one awkward moment where Alexa was going for the Twisted Bliss, and then she hesitated and then just jumped off the top rope and didn't do the move. I don't know if she was going for it too soon and they were not in sync, but the match just continued. Beyond that, I did enjoy it. Asuka put on the arm bar. Alexa escaped it, and then she went for the Twisted Bliss again. This time, she tried the move, but Asuka got her knees up, and then Asuka won with her new finisher, the Empress Impact, which is like a hip attack type maneuver. According to Ian, who was at the show, there were dueling chants for both of them. It was even with the fan reactions. We had Jade Cargill backstage, and she was interviewed for Queen of the Ring, hyping up the event. She has a match to determine if she'll make the final. And then Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis, they confronted Alexa backstage. Chelsea said she should have been in Queen of the Ring. Charlotte Flair then showed up and said she should have been in the tournament and been in contention. And then she said she would tap out Chelsea in a match. More on that in just a few moments. We had Kit Wilson going up against Aleister Black, or at least we were supposed to have this match. Elton Prince is injured, according to WWE. Wilson was out there, which did not bode well for him, but we didn't even have a match because R-Truth showed up and he attacked Wilson, and he ordered John Cena to come out there. Officials had to run down and get R-Truth out of there. And then backstage, Jamie Noble attempted to calm down R-Truth. Aleister Black then confronted Truth about getting involved in his match. R-Truth said it was nothing personal. And then Damian Priest showed up. Remember, Damian Priest and R-Truth have history from Judgment Day. Priest said he would talk to Truth, so Aleister Black left. And then Priest said there was no need for that. He said that Truth should use his energy and focus it on John Cena in the ring. And then he said they could celebrate later. R-Truth agreed to that, but still seemed like a man who was very much on a mission. R-Truth is driving now. That's his new catchphrase. We had Cody Rhodes come into the ring for a promo to talk about King of the Ring. But before he could even say one word, we had Jey Uso come out there. Jey Uso did his whole entrance and even did an encore. And then he started to talk. He said there's only room for one of them at the top. It's going to be 4 letters and 1 word. And you know what that is. Cody whispered something to Jey, but then Sami Zayn came out there because he had a match with Randy Orton, but he wanted to address Cody and Jey. Zayn said that he's the only one of them that has never won a world title. He wasn't part of WrestleMania, but he went to Las Vegas to celebrate Jey's title win. And then when Cody finished his story, Sami Zayn was the first one there to congratulate Cody. And Zayn said it is time for him to finish his story. Randy Orton came out there and said that, yes, one day Sami Zayn will be a world champion, but it will not be at SummerSlam. And he also said that there's no line he won't cross to become 15-time world champion. He respects Jey Uso, but if they cross paths, it will be 3 letters and 1 move, RKO. Anyways, we had this as a setup for the semifinal match, which was Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn. Orton did the table slam. Sami Zayn turned it around and did the table slam to Randy Orton. And then they got back in the ring. It was back and forth. Orton countered the haluva kick with a power slam. He went for the RKO, but Zayn turned it into the blue thunder bomb and got the 1-2-3 victory. No, he didn't. Of course, Randy Orton kicked out of that. And then Zayn went for another haluva kick, but this time Orton countered it. He hit the RKO finally and got the 1-2-3 victory. I have to say I'm disappointed in this because, to me, Randy Orton in the final is very predictable. He already faced John Cena. He's not facing John Cena again. To me, it made the match for Night of Champions very anticlimactic. Now, my guess is at this point, it will be Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Maybe WWE didn't want Sami Zayn losing in Saudi Arabia. I feel like it is going to be Cody that wins, even though Cody already beat John Cena to set up a title match. I feel like Cody is winning King of the Ring now, and it will, in fact, be Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at SummerSlam. That seems to be the predictable route now. I feel like if Sami Zayn won, it would have been more of a toss-up, and I would have been not sure. But now, I think Cody Rhodes is winning King of the Ring. Like, it just brought down my excitement for King of the Ring. Randy Orton did not need to win this. Randy Orton can take a loss at this point. Put over Sami Zayn. Let Sami Zayn go to Saudi Arabia, although, again, maybe WWE doesn't want Cody getting booed in Saudi Arabia, and thus they couldn't put Sami Zayn in there. That's really the only reason I can think that they went this booking route, because you have Randy Orton against Cody Rhodes. The crowd won't be as upset about Randy losing. If Sami lost in Saudi Arabia, Cody could get booed, and maybe WWE doesn't want that. So if that's what they were going for, then I understand it. But to me, I think that Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes in Saudi Arabia would have been a more interesting match. Not that I don't want to see Cody and Randy Orton. I just think there should have been another time to do that match. And it would have been better to do Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes in Saudi Arabia. Save the Orton Cody match for another time. But yeah, that's what I'm expecting at this point. Who knows? Maybe Jay will win, but I feel like Cody Rhodes going to SummerSlam is pretty much a guarantee at this point. And as Michael Wayne said in the chat, maybe, just maybe, Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia. I mean, hey, that could be where they're going with this, because they've invested so much in Sami and this whole world title story that you have to think he's getting it at some point. All right, moving on here. We had Nia Jax come into the ring for a promo, and she talked about how Tiffany betrayed her, but she really couldn't say much because women's champion Tiffany Stratton came to the ring, told Nia to get over being betrayed, stop making excuses, and then Tiffany revealed that next week they are going to have a last woman standing match for the women's championship. A fight broke out. Nia got the best of her, and then Naomi came out there and once again wanted to cash in Money in the Bank, but Nia would not let her do it. So Naomi is going to have to find a better time to try and cash in that Money in the Bank. They also confirmed next week that there will be another women's title match. Zelina Vega will be defending against Julia. And these matches will be in Saudi Arabia, which means spoilers will come out. Just letting you guys know. It's going to be on a tape delay in the United States. But if you have Netflix and a VPN, you'll be able to watch the show live next week. And that's what I plan on doing. I will be watching it live, and I'll do the recap whatever time it'll be, 4 or 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We had Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green, your standard SmackDown match with the interference. Chelsea was wearing a face mask. You had the interference from Alba Fire and Piper Niven. And then after Charlotte started to build up some momentum, she mocked Chelsea's salute, which actually got some boos. I don't know what the deal is. Is Charlotte a face? Is Charlotte a heel? Who knows at this point? There was another distraction. Chelsea hit the Rough Rider, Zack Ryder, her husband's move, Matt Cardona. More on Matt Cardona later, by the way. Charlotte was able to fight back despite the interference, and she avoided the unprettier. She hit the spear, put on the figure 8, and got the submission victory. Immediately after the match, there was an attack from Alba and Piper. But then Alexa Bliss ran out there and made the save. She laid out Chelsea Green with the Sister Abigail, went for a handshake to Charlotte, but Charlotte just blew her off and walked away. So the plot thickens with this storyline. What is going to happen with Charlotte and Alexa? And then we had Solo Sikoa confronting JC Mateo backstage, saying he wanted to talk to Fatu and smooth things over, but he told JC to just be ready in case. Solo came out to the ring, said he felt terrible about their falling out. He wanted to clear the air. Fatu came out there, and Solo said that he wasn't there to fight. Families fight all the time. He wants to forgive and move on. He said that he gave Fatu a shot to provide for his family. Nobody else wanted to do anything with Fatu except for Solo. And Solo said, to be honest, he doesn't have anybody else. And he said the 4 words, "I love you, Jacob," which the crowd responded with a bullshit chant, which was great. And then Jacob responded. He said that Solo's been using him the whole time for power, for fame, for gold, for being the tribal chief. And Jacob said maybe the problem is the U.S. title. He laid it on the mat. He told Solo to fight him for the championship. Solo attempted a cheap shot with the Samoan spike, but Fatu countered it. And then JC Mateo did show up. Solo got the upper hand, but then Jimmy Uso ran out there. He got overwhelmed. However, Jacob was able to get back in action. He went for the moonsault on Solo, but Solo was able to roll out of the ring and make his escape. They also confirmed that the title, Solo and Jacob Fatu, Solo will be challenging for the title at Night of Champions. I'm a little surprised they're not saving this for SummerSlam. I figured this would be a SummerSlam match, and they would do the tag match at Night of Champions, although it is Night of Champions, so you would think you would have title matches at Night of Champions. Maybe that's their thought process with that. But nonetheless, good segment here. I enjoyed it. Next up, we had Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. Braun Breaker was at ringside, and as I mentioned earlier, this was very obvious it was going to be a match with shenanigans. Braun Breaker got attacked by Knight before the match even started. Reed had to calm Breaker down, and then after Knight started to build up some momentum, guess what happened? Braun Breaker got in the ring, speared LA Knight, causing a disqualification. I mean, it was very obvious where this one was going. They beat the crap out of him. Another spear, followed by the tsunami, multiple tsunamis. LA Knight was completely beaten down by these two. Paul Heyman was right. It was not a prediction. It was, in fact, a spoiler. The segment was fine, but very predictable. And then we had our main event, John Cena wrestling on SmackDown versus R-Truth. I guess he's just R-Truth again. I thought he was going to be Ron Killings, but they called him R-Truth on the show. He had his old music. He came out there just a more serious demeanor. Didn't do the what's up when he was coming out there for his entrance, but he did say it during the match a little bit, but definitely a more focused R-Truth. John Cena immediately tried to retreat to the outside after R-Truth tackled him. Cena did get the upper hand for a while. He tried to go for the AA, but Truth countered it. And then Cena tried to walk away with the championship. R-Truth went after him, but then Cena hit him with the championship. Another disqualification on this show. CM Punk then came out there, ran after John Cena. They brawled in the ring, but then Cena with his trademark low blow to CM Punk, and then he hit CM Punk with the championship. He pulled out the Slim Jim sponsored table, got it in the ring. He put CM Punk through the table with the AA, and then we had a moment. As soon as I saw the table and Punk was laid out there and John Cena grabbed the microphone, it brought me back to 2011 when CM Punk put John Cena through a table and then cut a promo on him. And that's what John Cena did here. We got the John Cena pipe bomb on CM Punk, basically spoofing the Punk promo from 2011. Using the same lines, as you lay there. He talked about how he likes CM Punk more than the people in the locker room like CM Punk. But he had to point out that CM Punk is the best bullshitter in the world. And he acknowledged that he used profanity on live television. He said the fans like to sing Punk's theme song, but the fact is they don't believe a goddamn word that he says. He said that CM Punk is a guy who changes his values like John Cena changes his t-shirts. And then he gave a shout out to an AEW contracted wrestler, Claudio. He gave a shout out to Nick Nemeth. He gave a shout out to Matt Cardona, the same way he waved at the camera, the same way that CM Punk did to Colt Cabana in 2011. He said that Punk's promos are potato salad. Punk's tweets are strong, but his actions are weak. He said that Punk is no longer the voice of the voiceless because he's a multimillionaire. He's not Punk. He's a capitalist. He said, if anything, Punk is Mr. TKO, and TKO technically knocked the balls off of CM Punk. And at this point, the crowd was just loving John Cena. They were chanting John Cena's name. He said that CM Punk was the best in the world for 7 minutes 14 years ago. And he said, "You're welcome, Grand Rapids." There's a whole transcript. I posted most of the transcript over on NoDQ.com. It was awesome. This was a fantastic way to end the show. I wasn't expecting it, and I feel like I should have seen this one coming. Like this was a really cool way to set up their match with John Cena doing Punk's promo on him. The reverse pipe bomb, only this time it was John Cena delivering the line. And he's like, you see the reaction here in Grand Rapids. Just imagine how it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. You better bring your A game. Like it was money. This was red hot. They aired a video package earlier that was well done, but this just topped it. I mean, John Cena was on fire here. I loved it. Best thing John Cena has done since the initial heel turn. Best thing he's done since Elimination Chamber. This was money. I loved it. I thought it was great. My wife doesn't really follow the shows as strongly as she used to, but she was very interested in this, and she was invested in it, and I was too. Overall, I thought SmackDown was good. Kind of a middle of the road show for the most part, but there were some fun moments on it. And then the final segment brought it up a lot. And this might be the final, well, not the final 3-hour SmackDown, because next week will be 3 hours, but the final 3-hour SmackDown that I'll have to watch at 8 p.m. Eastern, because next week I'll be using the VPN to watch it on Netflix Live. The 3-hour SmackDowns are coming to an end. They got this new show, The Rainmaker, that is coming up, and that'll be the 3rd hour. But for 3-hour SmackDown, I thought it was really good. I especially liked the last segment, so that gave it an extra point. I am going 7 out of 10 for this week's SmackDown. It was business as usual, but then at the end, they knocked it out of the park. Great segment to conclude the show. I loved it. I thought it was awesome, and I definitely recommend checking it out. I'm sure everybody will watch it. If you haven't seen it, you'll watch it at some point when you get the opportunity. So thumbs up for that. I'm hyped up for Night of Champions. CM Punk versus John Cena will be amazing. Looking forward to that. Heat should be off the charts for that one. Stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest news and rumors. Next week, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing our predictions for WWE's Night of Champions. Check that out. And that's all I got for now. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe out there. Say yes to No DQ, and I will see you all next time.